Because now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation. I say that is the main foundation. So come let us go hand in hand, because this is our land. Come my brother, come my sister, and let us build a nation together. This also goes for every Trinbagonian who going to live in a foreign land. Now is the time to come home and do something, instead of staying out there and freezing. Because now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production.
Yes, indeed, now more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production. I want to welcome you to the Dynamic Hour. Again, we have a unique opportunity to engage in a meaningful conversation using radio and the social media to connect. My name is Kem Jones. I want to encourage those who are listening or viewing and listening to me via Facebook and YouTube to please share the live. Sharing is caring. And if you're listening to me on the radio, the two frequencies, you can call your neighbor, you can call your friend to tell them that I am on, the program is on. I want to start off with some really good news. The police headquarters on the Carenage, that will be functional soon, open for business soon. They're doing quite a bit in terms of moving, putting up all the signs, the kind of finishing stuff. And then they would move officially sometime during this week. I don't know if it's today or tomorrow, but I know that they are in the process of moving to that facility. And finally, so they're moving from Fort George to the Carenage. A lot of work was done on that building, the old Cable and Wireless building, and they are now ready to utilize that building for the police headquarters. So that's good news. And let me share some more good news. Maybe I can just play that piece for you here.
Grenada has been commended for its vision to launch a program that will create limitless career opportunities for young people, with 100 of them to be trained in cybersecurity in the pilot stage. During the launch of the Grenada Digital Workforce Initiative on Wednesday, Rick Hybert, Program Director of Cyber Nations, applauded Grenada for recognizing the initiative as a necessary move. He highlighted that the country is now positioned to tap into the rapidly growing global digital job market. The initiative is a collaboration between the government of Grenada and Cyber Nations to the tune of more than $2 million. The pilot phase of the program will primarily focus on cybersecurity, aiming to train and place 100 Grenadians in the workforce. This effort is being carried out in partnership with Cyber Nations and Protexa, a global cybersecurity services provider. Hybert emphasized the vast opportunities in cybersecurity, noting that the global market offers over 3.5 million job opportunities in the digital workforce.
We live in a time where the digital landscape is both our greatest opportunity and in many ways our greatest challenge. Cybercrime costs the global economy over $8 trillion annually, a number that is staggering and growing. Yet this challenge brings with it a tremendous opportunity. With more than 3.5 million cybersecurity jobs unfilled worldwide, this industry represents not just a pathway to economic growth, but a chance for Grenada to stand as a leader in the global digital workforce. To the government of Grenada, I offer my deepest congratulations and gratitude. Your commitment to building a digital workforce and your recognition of cybersecurity as a critical pillar of this success and your vision for the future are commendable.
He encouraged the participants to seize the opportunity and develop their careers in this expanding field.
You are the pioneers of this program. You are stepping into an industry that needs your talent, creativity, and resilience. The work you will do not only will shape your future, but also strengthen your nation. We are here to support you every step along that way.
Simone Gill, a cybersecurity instructor from Barbados and a former recipient of the program, shared her personal experience and explained how the initiative helped her to transition into the cybersecurity industry.
This is not the time to rest on our laurels. Instead, it is time to equip ourselves with the skills and knowledge to confront these challenges head on. As I stand here, I am reminded of my own journey. Like many of you, I started with no background in IT or cybersecurity, and I was part of Cohort 1 in Barbados of this very program. As a mother with very many multifaceted roles, the road was far from easy, but I was determined. Through perseverance, teamwork, and the incredible guidance of the Cyber Nations faculty, I not only gained a solid understanding of cybersecurity, but also discovered my passion for this field. Today, I am honored to stand before you as a cybersecurity instructor, proof that this program can change lives.
Yes, so that's very good news. I spoke about it last week, but GIS did that piece and I thought it was very impressive. So I thought bringing it back to refresh your memory would be a very good thing. You're talking about 100 young Grenadians getting the opportunity to receive such a crucial training, very important training, and the government is footing the bill of $2 million plus. I think it's about 20,000 per participant, right? So the government is footing that bill, $2.something million for our young people to get that training. And when they finish the training, they would get jobs straight away, the opportunity to work straight away. And I love that. From training straight into the field of work or on the job. And the government is very serious about ICT and cybersecurity and, data, being an analyst for data and so on. I really love that, and that is commendable. But you know what is strange? The opposition, the NNP, they would not publicly commend the government for such an initiative. They are waiting for something negative to talk about. And that could be dangerous for any democracy. Because if something is good, don't matter who does it, you should commend it. You should applaud it. Yes, we know you're the opposition. And yes, we know you want to come back into power. And yes, we know historically, parties come back into power, get back into power by highlighting the bad things so that the electorate would kind of get upset or angry, vexed, and want to change the government. We know that. That is what has been happening for all the many years. You highlight all the bad things and you ignore the good things, the positive things that are happening in the country. That is what the opposition does, which is dangerous for any democracy, because here you have a very good training program. 100 Grenadians will receive training worth $2 million+. Every one of those participants, taxpayers will pay 20,000 EC for them to receive that training. They will get all the tools required to do the training. And after completing the training, they will get job placements. And I am saying this is big, this is good for Grenada. But the opposition will never commend it, will never applaud it. And people who are reasonable, people who are sensible, they're applauding this initiative by the government. But they're also calling on the opposition to be responsible too, and acknowledge that this program is a very good program that will help a lot of our people, that will change the dynamics in the home for 100 families, just like that. So I am saying this program is a very impactful one, this training program, and the government must be commended for it, but we must call out the opposition and say to them, yes, we fed up with you just being negative, negative, negative. We want to hear the positive too. Because the government pumped $7.1 million in a program for women in agriculture. I think I should, let me seek to find that piece. Because the government has been doing a lot for young people and pushing a number of programs to help young people, you know. It was youth, you have one, youth in agriculture. That one is a really good one. Youth, I think, is youth in agriculture. Yes, youth in agriculture program. And then you had one, women in agriculture. Women in agriculture, UN Women Donate Women in Agriculture, I think. These two programs, right? So you're talking about, well, that will 2 + 1, that's 3 programs. Because you hear the NNP from time to time saying, well, the government is not doing this for young people, they're not doing that for young people. But here you have a program where 100 young people will receive training in cybersecurity, in ICT, being able to analyze data and so on online. So it was women in agriculture, I think, right? So the youth first.
Close to 100 young people across the country are scheduled to commence training in 3 fields of agriculture, which includes crop production, livestock, and agro-processing. This is being made possible through the implementation of the Young Entrepreneurs in Agriculture and Agribusiness Project, a 3-year pilot project jointly funded by the Government of Grenada, CARICOM Development Fund, and the Grenada Development Bank. The orientation for this training was held on Tuesday in St. David. Cindy Lewis, project manager, explained this training will assist young people by providing the training and finances to establish or grow their agribusinesses.
It has been in the pipeline for a while, and we are happy that you are here today. This aspect, the project caters for training, and we are happy that this aspect, the orientation of the agriculture entrepreneurship training, kicks off today. After the training, that you will be able to start your own businesses. And we would provide the assistance for you in terms of getting your business plans, and we will also provide funding for you to start your businesses.
Janesta Charles from the National Training Agency says the trainings will support young people who wish to learn more about the fields of agriculture, livestock, and agro-processing.
Here is an opportunity through the Youth in Agriculture project to build capacity for young people in agriculture entrepreneurship, and so to support the sustainability of agriculture in Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. This program will be implemented using a competency-based approach. And when we speak competency-based education, training, and assessment, we are referring to training that is facilitated by industry experts, a learner-centered approach where the focus is on you building the knowledge, skills, and attitude relevant to agriculture entrepreneurship.
The objective of the program is to increase agricultural production by existing and new farms supported by trained entrepreneurs and certified young agricultural workers. Winston Otley, well-known farmer, was the guest speaker for the orientation. As they undertake training in the various fields, Otley reminded participants that their country comes first.
So our goal must be to produce more than we actually receive. I want us to think of how we can move our country forward. We cannot move it forward by producing only for yourself. Patriotism. So if you love your country, it means that you love your neighbor. You love the people around you. You love the environment. And you will use all the skills, all the opportunities that you have to preserve the environment, preserve the people, grow the people around you. So it's never for you. And let me just say this to us. Anything you give to somebody, I give you one guava plant, it will be multiplied. It can become 1 million plants. And who benefits from it? You say, well, I gave it away. It means that if 1 million people plant a tree, I can go and get one guava. I'll have 1 million guavas. They would give me back one. Whatever you give come back to you many times more.
The training providers include the New Life Organization, NULO, the Produce Chemist Laboratory, and the St. Andrews Development Organization. The project aims to also contribute to reducing poverty in rural communities by increasing opportunities for small-scale agriculture and reducing youth unemployment by expanding commercial agriculture for young people ages 16 to 35. This is a 3-year pilot project with an estimated total cost of US $1.3 million.
Right. So that's 1.3 million US. 1.3 million US. All right, just writing that down so I could remember the figure, 1.3 million US. And if you do the math, it would take you above 3 million EC. It will take you above 3 million EC. So that's Youth in Agriculture Project, creating opportunities for about 100 young people. And then we had the Women in Agriculture Project.
The Ministry of Agriculture and Lands, Forestry and Marine Resources has launched an innovative new project aimed at enhancing agricultural production across the country, focusing on vegetable farming, sea moss production, apiculture, and agro-processing led by women. Because
it only tells you where we want to go to.
Climate smart agriculture and food systems in the Caribbean. The project seeks to empower women and youth to build climate resilience in agriculture. The official launch took place at the Radisson Grenada Beach Resort, attracting a diverse group of agro-processors for an inception workshop. The workshop featured presentations from experts who shared insights on Grenada's vegetable production, the sea moss and apiculture value chains, and various agro-processing opportunities. It aims to build capacity, promote climate-smart technologies, strengthen market linkages, and address gender-related challenges in agriculture. Funded by Canada to the tune of $7.3 million and implemented by the FAO, this initiative is set to run over the next 4 years. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Isaac Bagwan, welcomes the support from FAO and Canada for the support to small farmers, women, and youth. He explains the prospective outcomes of the project.
This project seeks to increase the use of climate change technology in agriculture and is well aligned with the current programs being implemented by the government of Grenada. In Grenada, The project will support ongoing initiatives that build capacity of women and youth, such as the production of vegetables under open and protected structures, beekeeping, fisheries, sea moss farming, as well as certain other aspects of agro-processing. Training in production management and the introduction of tools like digital sensors in greenhouse will improve the management of crops. Agro-processors will also have an opportunity to improve their products in consultation with the Grenada Produce Chemist Lab and the Grenada Bureau of Standards. Improving market readiness through improved packaging or bulk purchasing are areas that the project would consider for support.
FAO Sub-Regional Coordinator Dr. Renata Clark explains that the project gives FAO an opportunity to be building on ongoing initiatives.
Right. So I just wanted to play a little piece of that. I wouldn't play the entire thing, right? But you talking about 3 initiatives, 3 programs. You had the first that I highlighted, dealing with cybersecurity, dealing with data protection, dealing with ICT, digital workforce initiative or project, where 100 young people will receive training and straight away get the opportunity to work. Then I highlighted 100 young people in agriculture, youth in agriculture. They will get support to start up their own little business, their own little plot, to do stuff, to package, to market, to get their stuff out there, to add value to it, agro-processing, and so on. Great. Getting them opportunity, getting them some livelihood, and taking it from there. Then I highlighted women and youth in agriculture. So you're talking about $7.2 or so million for that particular initiative. The youth in agriculture, 3 point something million, and the digital workforce initiative is another 2 million. So you're looking at almost $12-13 million just like that for that initiative. And then the government only recently launched another program, Elevate Her. Elevate Her, that's a really good program, and let me just highlight that here.
The Division of Youth in the Ministry of Youth and Sports will soon engage unemployed and underemployed women between the ages of 18 to 35 in a program designed to empower them to become self-sufficient and equipped for the job market. Elevate Her, a transformative initiative, is aligned with the Grenada National Sustainable Development Plan 2020 to 2035, directly supporting its pillars of human capital development and youth employment. It also reflects the government's commitment to provide second chance opportunities for youth, to reduce unemployment, to boost sustainable livelihood among women. Youth Coordinator Caroline Perman says the one-year program is needed now to reduce unemployment among young people.
The objective of the Elevator program is basically to provide an opportunity for young women who may have, for whatever reason, they were unable to complete their primary, secondary, or tertiary education. They are unemployed, underemployed, and they're looking for opportunities to upskill themselves, to engage in training programs so that they can gain employment and basically take care of themselves for sustainable livelihoods. The program does have some training pillars that we are adhering to. The purpose of these pillars chosen was to ensure that the young women who are engaged in this particular program, they can head directly into full-time employment at the end of it.
The ministry officially commenced registration for the program in St. George's this week, with outreach to other parishes soon to begin. Early in the new year, the program will be launched in Carriacou and Petite Martinique. Perman outlined some of the training areas.
Includes tourism and hospitality, building maintenance, healthcare attendant, poultry production, allied health, hospital attendant, supervision in terms of housekeeping and construction. We have commenced registration. We are going to every parish on the main island. We started on the 2nd of December in St. George at the Kirani James Stadium. The 3rd, we were at St. David's Corinth Community Center. Today, the 4th, we were at the Pastoral Center in St. John, and tomorrow we'll be at Resource Center, St. Mark, that's the 5th of December. And then we start again on the 9th with St. Patrick Anglican, and then on the 10th at the YWCA building in St. Andrew.
The ministry is open to accepting recommendations to make the program more efficient as it plans for the future cohorts.
This particular cohort of the program, the pillars that we have is the areas that persons are going to be trained in, but there is an opportunity for persons to mention other areas that they are interested in, and we are going to be taking that as we consider the next cohort, or we consider another program where we can engage young persons in the training areas that they are interested in.
Yes, so that's very good. Very good. Elevate Her. So that's another program that the Ministry of Youth is rolling out. And then you had the Youth Parliament, candidates for the National Youth Parliament doing their bit, campaigning. I think they had election only recently too. All right. So they went out there in the community, in the constituencies, and they campaigned. They asked, they solicit votes, and I think they have now the people who will be attending the youth parliament or representing that constituency for, I think it is for, is it a 2-year term? I think it's a 2-year term. I stand to be corrected. But things are happening for our young people. And I thought I should highlight that. I should feature that because you have an opposition who is only fixated on negativity. All they want to talk about is negative things. They would concoct stories. They would create negativity just to talk about it. They would not commend the government. They would not applaud the government on nothing. Imagine you have the Empower program. That's a program that the opposition started during their time in government. That's a program that the NNP started during their time in government. The NDC is continuing that program. The NDC increase the amount they're giving to the young men to start their business. All right, I think they moved it from $2,400 to $3,000, right? So they increased it to bring it to $3,000 as they start. The startup, I think it's a grant they normally give them to start their own business after they receive the training and everything like that. The NNP never came forward and applauded the government for that and say, kudos, thumbs up, that's the way to go. Then you have the new Imani training program, a program that the NNP started. The NDC continuing with that program. They increased the stipend of the people in that program from $700 and $800 to $1,200 per month. The NNP refused to come out and applaud such an initiative, such a move. In fact, yeah? No, she got it already. No, she got it already. She get it already. So. All right? No. Come. Zoe, I'm gonna beat you, you know. You want licks? No. Stop. Hey, stop. Come on. You want to say morning? So come. Say morning and go. Say morning and go. Wait. You're getting too much church. No. Say good morning and go. Wait. Morning. All right. Morning. Look at you. Watch. Right. Good. All right. Bye. Morning. All right. Bye. Right. Bye. Look at cover your clothes. Bye. Yeah. All right. Later. I'm going to get. And you going to come. Don't you say? Daddy love you. All right. Daddy love you. All right. Bye. Nice. All right. So that seemed to be a regular thing on Zoe's part. She wants to say good morning before she leaves. Right. So the new Imani training program. That program was one that the NNP started. So we're giving them credit. They started the new Imani training program, but government is a continuum. You continue. So a party loses, another party assumes power. You continue with some of the programs that are good. So you expect the NNP to come out and applaud the government for continuing the program, because the government could have decided to change course and not continue with it. But they decided, no, there is some good in the program, and they would continue the program. So they continuing with the program, and they increase the stipend given to the participants of the training program. But the NNP, they're so negative, they came out and they condemn, they criticize the government, but in a very sly way, to say that they were actually paying people a stipend of that amount or more, right? 1,200 or 13, they said. When we investigated, it's totally false. It was a lie from the pit of hell, right? So I am saying a responsible opposition would come out and applaud when there is a need to applaud or commend. You cannot just be negative, 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 because it's taking a toll on their supporters. And now you see the infighting within the NNP. That is another negative. And that one, they don't want to embrace. Embrace that negative too. You hear them saying, well, leave Emmeline alone, leave Peter alone, leave the NNP alone, let them fight their battle. Well, you have to embrace it. Embrace that negative, because they have become so negative that every single thing around them is turning out to be negative. So I want them to embrace that one. With all the infighting within NNP, all the problems in there, embrace that. And I felt sorry for Peter David on the Bob report. On the Bob report, not Bob, the Bob report. I felt sorry for the guy, because here you have a member of the NNP and a senior member of the NNP too. Peter David, I think, is the Assistant General Secretary. The guy has a senior position within the executive of the NNP, you know, and they treating him like dirt. And in his head, he still believes that he's going to get the leadership. And if he doesn't get the leadership, he's going to challenge them maybe via the court. He's kind of preparing himself for that based on his statements yesterday. In my belief, I concluded that the guy is preparing himself. So if he doesn't get it, then he will take the route of the court, in my belief, based on what I've heard this guy said. I could be wrong, but this is what I gather from his delivery on that program. He's hurting. Peter David is hurting. But it is clear the NNP doesn't want this guy. And he doesn't belong in the NNP based on the philosophy, the ideology of this party, based on what the party stands for. Peter David doesn't belong there. He's an outcast. He just fast to find himself there. He was tricked, in my belief, by Keith Mitchell and the others, and they woo him to come into NNP. And now they want to push him out of NNP. I'm glad he's putting up a fight, because that is what I want to see. I want to see a fight within NNP, politically. So Sunday, we're going to see what the mess looks like, because we already know it's a mess. We already know that they are fighting. We already know that it's a very unstable organization. All kind of faction, all kind of sides. You have people who were outspoken, who are actually on programs advocating for NNP, and now you realize they're no longer on certain programs. People are asking, where is this guy up north? He used to be police. I think he rose to the rank of what? Was it sergeant or inspector? Something around there. People are asking, well, what happened? What happened that the guy is no longer on that program. He was the voice. He was the man going there with Panames, a good partner, Devon. And they would be speaking about all kind of stuff, condemning NDC, criticizing the government. They had all kind of bad things to say about the government. But lo and behold, this guy just disappeared. He vanished, if you ask me. And I normally follow what's going down on the opposition side with all these different talk show programs and all these different podcasts. And so, and people are asking, but what happened? What caused this guy to be no longer interested in being on that program or being a part of that program? I mean, for what, since NDC came into power, the guy was very vocal. The guy was always out there. We saw KB, firstly, he was no longer on the program, and we know why. Now, this guy, it seems, is no longer there. So the division, the infighting, is affecting their programs and the people who are on their programs. Because you see, some of these people, they are pushing a certain agenda, or they're given assistance by a certain faction within NNP. So you have the Keith Mitchell faction who will support some of them, and then you have the Peter David faction who will support some of them in many different ways. And as a result, with the bitter infighting and division and tribalism within NNP, it is showing its ugly head in the public domain. They cannot control that anymore. They cannot deal with their mess in-house anymore. It's now in the public. Open sepulchre, as people would say. Everybody seeing what's happening. No longer is it inside, and they're dealing with it inside. It is sad because they always gave the impression that they could manage their affairs, they could manage their conflicts and infightings and all these different things. But now we are seeing the thing right before our eyes. So this guy is no longer showing up on the program. I played a piece for you where someone called, and this Williams guy, I think he called Andre on that station, whatever his name be, and he asked a question, and you know, they're fighting, and the fight is getting nastier and nastier every day. We await Sunday. I believe before Sunday, a lot of drama will take place. I think Peter David said he will be addressing, I don't know if it's the NNP delegates or the nation, or who is he addressing? He'll be doing some address. I don't know specifically what type. So let me not say that it will be an address to the nation or address to the NNP delegates, or just, but he intends to address certain things. I don't know if it's today or tomorrow or Wednesday, I don't know. Then you see Chester Humphrey came out from his crab hole, in my belief. He started talking, you know, that's all Peter, little disciples. Hamlet Mac, well, now, sir, he started to write notes from all around the world, all over. All right. Interviews, Peter David. You see the programs he's going on, right? Then you have Hamlet Mac, Peter Wickham, we heard him. Who again? There's another one. KB wanted to go on this program, that program. All of them coming out from the crab hole to support their boy. Right? It's a tactical move. Tactical move. Some of them come across as being objective, not supporting Peter or Keith, but some of them again, they just partisan, they support Peter. And then you see Keith's side, he's said that people are going to come out. You see, well, Titus, the Titus guy, publishing stuff too, right? I don't know what side he's on, if he's on Keith's side or Peter's side or no side at all. I don't know, so I can't say. But it's a whole pile of commerce and mess. And it's going to get even nastier after the convention, right? So if you believe you have seen it all, if you believe that you have experienced the nastiest of nasties with the NNP and all the infighting and all the problems, you're joking, joke you're making. You will see it after the convention. That's where the nastiness going to play out. And there's a great probability that it might end up in court. There's a great probability that the matter might end up in court. Mark my word on this program this morning. I'm not a seer man, but I am seasoned enough in the politics to tell you what may happen down the road. So serious, serious problems within NNP. And as a person told me during the week, and they say they want to come back and rescue Grenada, yes, they cannot even rescue their party. They cannot even deal with the mess within their party, but they want to come and handle country. What's wrong with them? And they still believe that Grenadians are going to just welcome them back, right? And say, come, I want you to be this and be that again. Grenadians have moved forward. Grenadians are no longer studying NNP and Keith Mitchell or Emlyn Pay or Peter, all of those folks. They're not. Grenadians want positivity. They want good things to happen to Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. And that is what we must be pushing. All right? We have to focus on that. A lot of good things are happening within government. You know, I was telling a friend, right now, only one or two people who believe that they have more political sense than anybody else focusing on NDC. All right? We'll see one or two of them trying to publish this and publish that. The NDC is stable. The NDC is organized. In fact, the NDC executive and other members traveled to Carriacou and Sandy Island and those places, and they planted a whole pile of coconut trees because, you know, after Hurricane Beryl devastated Carriacou and Petit Martinique, nearly all the coconut trees and so on, grapes and just name it, those different trees, they were affected, they were damaged. So the NDC decided, as the executive, the party, they went up to Carriacou and they planted a whole pile of coconut trees, which is good. And I think they included some other trees too, Sandy Island and on Carriacou. And they intend in the future to go to Petit Martinique. They just didn't have the time to do so. But the NDC is organized. The NDC is focused. The NDC is doing work. A lot of work is being done by the NDC as a party. And it must be commended, right? Must be commended. So while the NNP has infighting, while the NNP has plenty tribalism, division, and you know, political war happening within NNP and a mess within NNP, the new nasty party, the NDC is stable. The NDC is working hard to build the party and the nation. That is what you want. That is what you want in a party. So again, I want to commend the NDC for such a good initiative to go and replant some of the trees and so on in Carriacou and Sandy Island and Carriacou, the Paradise Beach and those places. And that's a really, really good thing. Really, really good. I want to applaud the NDC for that. So look, the NNP will continue to fight, and we must encourage them to do so. Because NNP has always been a curse to this country. I've told you that 100 times. We must encourage them to fight. We must encourage them to continue with the instability and the problems within NNP. And we must also encourage them to support the weaker donkey in the race. Because we all know who is the weaker donkey in the race. I mean, both of them, they are not far apart. But the weaker donkey in the race, right? That to me, we must support. All right? That's important. Very, very important. Good. So again, I am saying the NDC is stable. And yes, we agree there are some changes that must be made within NDC. We agree on that. But I can tell you at this point in time, the NDC is a very, very stable organization. And they are working in the best interest of the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. All right? So let's look at the NNP. The NNP is a mess, is a wreck. And during this week, in fact, this entire week, I will be looking at NNP and Emlyn Pay and Peter David and all of them. I will be zooming in all the way up to the convention of the NNP. Because it's important to look at the mess that's taking place there. We have to focus on that too. And let people know what's going down. Because you want people to understand that NNP ain't ready yet for governance to control anything in this country. They're not. But we must also encourage and put a lot of wood under the fire to make sure that the thing intensifies within there. There should be no peace within that cussed organization. Let them continue with their stuff. Let them fight. We should not come out and say, well, there is a need for a healthy opposition. And no. They had the country 3 times without any opposition. So we could do without that organization right now. And as I said, I will encourage the police to do their work and make sure they have a lot of police officers around the venue of that convention that the NNP will be having. Because from all indications, it seems as though there would be real problems. Real problems. Real, Millie. Real problems on that day. That Sunday coming. All right? So I would encourage the police to mobilize and organize and make sure you have the SSU and the special, special branch and the RRU to surround the place to bring some level of, security and because they have to be there. They have to be there because we expect that the NNP convention will be real old mass, real problems. All right? So, folks, I want to wish you all the best. Have a wonderful day. Take good care, and I'll be back with you tonight as we continue to talk, continue our dialogue, because a lot is happening politically, right? A lot is happening. In fact, I understand Dr. Bob reached out to Emlyn Pay to appear on his program, and she used words to the effect that, after the convention, she'll be willing to appear on his program. It's just a big laugh, a big joke. She's not interested in that, but Peter went. Let's see how it goes. All right, let's see how it goes. Folks,